What if I told you that your life will not be changed by one big opportunity, one lucky break, or one powerful connection, but by the small things you choose to do every single day? We often search for dramatic transformation. We wait for the perfect moment. We hope for a sudden breakthrough. But destiny is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in daily disciplines. The habits you practice in private are shaping the life you will live in public. And if you change the small things, you change everything. Master your morning before the world masters you. The first moments of your day are not casual minutes. They are the steering wheel of your destiny. If you wake up and immediately surrender your attention to notifications, messages, and noise, you have already allowed the world to dictate your focus. But when you rise with intention, when you take control of that first hour, you declare authority over your life. The morning is sacred because it sets the tone for everything that follows. It is in that quiet space that you align your spirit, organize your thoughts, and remind yourself who you are and where you are going. A day that begins in chaos rarely ends in clarity. A day that begins with purpose carries power. Discipline in the morning is not about waking up early for the sake of pride. It is about waking up early for the sake of preparation. Before the demands start pulling at you, you must pour into yourself. Read something that stretches your mind. Reflect on your vision. Pray or meditate to anchor your spirit. Review your goals so your actions are not random but intentional. When you win the morning, you build momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence produces action, and action leads to results. The person who controls their morning controls their direction. The morning is also where battles are won silently. Laziness whispers, sleep a little longer. Distraction whispers, check your phone. Comfort whispers, you can start tomorrow. But purpose demands discipline. Every time you rise with intention, you strengthen your will. You prove to yourself that your future is more important than your feelings. The world respects those who respect their own time. When you master your morning, you are not just managing hours, you are training your character. Character formed at sunrise carries you through pressure at noon and challenges at night. The way you start determines how you sustain. Small daily improvements create massive lifetime results. Success is rarely explosive, it is usually incremental. The problem is that most people underestimate the power of small progress because it feels insignificant. One extra page read, one extra push-up, one more call made, one better decision. These actions appear minor in isolation, but repetition turns them into transformation. Growth is not an event, it is a process, and processes reward patience. Improving 1% every day may not look impressive, but over time it separates the committed from the casual. A tiny adjustment in attitude can change the quality of your relationships. A slight improvement in skill can increase your value in the marketplace. A minor shift in discipline can multiply your productivity. The compound effect of daily growth is extraordinary because consistency multiplies effort. When you commit to being slightly better today than you were yesterday, you build a pattern of excellence. The danger lies in despising small beginnings. Many people wait for a dramatic breakthrough while ignoring daily responsibilities. But greatness is built in repetition. Athletes train daily. Musicians practice scales daily. Leaders refine their thinking daily. The secret is not intensity once in a while. It is consistency over time. Small improvements build confidence because they provide proof of progress. Progress fuels motivation. Motivation encourages further action. Over time, what once felt small becomes significant. You do not need to change your entire life in 1 week. You need to change your habits today. Choose one area and refine it. Sharpen one skill. Correct one weakness. Strengthen one discipline. When you respect small progress, you activate long-term transformation. Massive results are simply small actions performed faithfully without interruption. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation is emotional, and emotions are unstable. They rise and fall with circumstances, with moods, with opinions. If you build your life on motivation, you will only act when you feel inspired, and feelings are unreliable leaders. Discipline, however, is a decision. It is a commitment you make with yourself long before the emotions arrive. It says, I will do what must be done, whether I feel like it or not. That is power. The problem with motivation is that it depends on excitement. But excitement fades when difficulty appears. The gym feels different when you are tired. The book feels heavier when you are distracted. The vision feels distant when progress is slow. Motivation waits for perfect conditions. Discipline creates results in imperfect ones. Discipline wakes up when the alarm rings and says, get up. Discipline sits at the desk and says, focus. Discipline keeps going when applause is absent and recognition is delayed. It understands that success is not built on emotions, but on repeated obedience to purpose. When you choose discipline, you move from being controlled by your feelings to being controlled by your values. Values do not change every morning. They are anchored in conviction. If you value growth, you will grow even when it hurts. If you value excellence, you will refine your work even when nobody is watching. Discipline strengthens your identity because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust within. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Discipline also protects you from regret. Many people live with the pain of what they did not do because they waited for motivation that never came. They postponed the dream. They delayed the plan. They excused the inconsistency. Discipline removes excuses. It replaces "I don't feel like it" with "it must be done." Over time, disciplined actions become habits, and habits shape character. Character sustains success long after motivation disappears. If you want a life of impact, you must choose discipline over comfort, commitment over convenience, and consistency over emotion. Your words shape your destiny. Words are not empty sounds. They are containers of power. Every time you speak, you are planting seeds in your mind and in your environment. Many people sabotage their future by rehearsing failure with their mouths. They say, "I can't." They say, "It's impossible." They say, "Nothing ever works for me." Those statements are not harmless. They program the mind to look for evidence that confirms them. The tongue directs the life. When you change your language, you change your perspective. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am learning how to do this." Instead of declaring, "I always fail," say, "I am growing through this experience." Words influence belief, and belief influences behavior. If you constantly speak limitation, you will act small. If you consistently speak possibility, you will attempt greater things. The future listens to the vocabulary you use today. Your words also shape your relationships. Encouraging speech builds trust. Respectful language builds unity. Negative speech destroys confidence and weakens connection. Leaders understand that their voice carries weight. Parents understand that their words can build or break a child's self-image. Professionals understand that communication determines influence. The discipline of speaking life is not about pretending challenges do not exist. It is about refusing to magnify them beyond their size. There is alignment required between what you say and what you do. Words without action create emptiness, but action supported by empowering language creates momentum. When you speak your goals aloud, you remind yourself of your direction. When you declare your values, you reinforce your identity. Silence can be wise, but intentional speech is powerful. Guard your tongue carefully because it frames your reality. Every declaration is a blueprint. Every sentence is a signal to your mind about what to expect and what to pursue. Protect your time and protect your circle. Time is life measured in minutes. When you waste time, you are not just losing hours. You are losing pieces of your destiny. Everyone is given the same 24 hours, but not everyone treats them with equal value. Successful people understand that time is more precious than money because money can be recovered, but time cannot be reclaimed. If you do not decide how your time will be spent, others will decide for you. Distractions will claim it. Unimportant tasks will consume it. Conversations without purpose will drain it. You must become the guardian of your schedule. Planning your day is an act of leadership over your own life. When you assign time to your priorities, you declare what matters most. If your goals are important, they deserve space on your calendar. If your growth is essential, it deserves focused hours. Many people say they value success, but their daily routines reveal different priorities. Your calendar does not lie. It exposes what you truly honor. When you manage your time intentionally, you reduce stress because you operate with clarity. You know what needs to be done, and you direct your energy accordingly. Protecting your circle is equally vital because environment influences performance. The people around you either stretch your vision or shrink it. Conversations shape thinking. Attitudes spread quietly. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, doubt will eventually feel normal. If you live among people who complain daily, you will begin to see obstacles more than opportunities. But when you align with disciplined, forward-thinking individuals, their standards elevate yours. Iron sharpens iron. Growth accelerates when you are challenged by people who refuse to settle. This does not mean abandoning everyone who struggles. It means being intentional about influence. You cannot afford to allow constant negativity to dominate your mental space. Protecting your circle requires courage because sometimes growth demands distance. You must choose association that aligns with your assignment. The wrong environment can delay your destiny. The right environment can unlock your potential. Guard your time from distraction and your circle from destructive influence because both determine the quality of your progress. Consistency in small habits builds unstoppable character. Character is not formed in public applause. It is developed in private discipline. It is the result of what you repeatedly do when no one is watching. Small habits may appear insignificant, but they are the bricks that build the structure of your life. A single honest decision may seem minor, but repeated honesty builds integrity. A single disciplined action may feel small, but daily discipline builds reliability. Over time, habits create identity. Consistency is powerful because it eliminates randomness. When your actions are steady, your results become predictable. If you study daily, knowledge increases. If you train consistently, strength improves. If you practice patience repeatedly, emotional control expands. There is nothing mysterious about growth. It responds to repetition. Many people desire strong character, but they underestimate the daily habits required to sustain it. Character cannot be borrowed. It cannot be imitated for long. It is revealed under pressure. Small habits also build resilience. When you commit to simple disciplines every day, you strengthen your capacity to endure difficulty. The person who keeps small promises to themselves develops inner stability. That stability becomes a foundation during crisis. You do not suddenly become disciplined in a storm. You rely on the discipline you practiced in calm seasons. Consistency removes the drama from success. It replaces sporadic bursts of effort with steady progress. Over time, the accumulation of small, faithful actions produces a life that stands firm regardless of circumstance. We have talked about mastering your morning so your day does not master you. We have talked about small daily improvements that compound into extraordinary results. We have established that discipline must lead your life, not motivation. We have understood that your words are not casual. They are creative forces shaping your future. We have seen that your time must be guarded like treasure and your circle chosen with wisdom. And we have learned that consistency in small habits builds a character that can withstand pressure, success, and adversity. None of these habits are complicated. None require special talent, but they demand decision. Your future is not waiting on a miracle. It is waiting on your commitment. The life you desire is hidden inside the routines you repeat. Change your habits and you change your direction. Change your direction and you change your destiny. You don't need to do everything at once. Start with one habit, master it, then add another. Small steps taken consistently will carry you further than giant leaps taken occasionally.